afternoon. This is the knitting news from Knit Happens Teesside for the 7th week of 2024. Last night at knitting, Fee was doing some embroidery. She's part of a group that are making a banner that's going to go, well, it's going to be hung so that you can see both sides. And she's got a section, and then other ladies have the other sections. So on one side she's got an embroidery of a basket, I think it was, that she was doing. I mean, it would look really good. A basket and a loom, and oh, what else was there? I can't remember. On the other side was a slightly controversial embroidery of a few ladies crying over a murdered baby, as in things that have been happening. But she was being quite even-sided about it, and the ladies were from both sides of the conflict, which was really good. Andy, now she had her knitting with her, the very fine knitting that I showed you last week, and has decided that no, it's not going to be a basket now. It's going to be possibly a cushion, but she isn't entirely positive about that yet. But she does have some other wool that's quite chunky, and that's going to be a basket instead. I think she's going to knit it though, and it's going to be knit quite densely so that it stands up, and it's grey, sort of a two-tone grey, and then at the top it's going to be a band of like an aqua colour with, I don't think she said leather handles, which will be lovely, won't it? So that's what Andy's up to. Helen, I've got a little picture of the blanket that she's been working on. But last night she was working on, we have an unfinished project. Well, she has an unfinished project, and we can't find the pattern for it. And it was intended to be a jumper or a cardigan. I think it was a cardigan, and it's the back, so it's got a design on it, zigzags and things, and it's got beading on it, and it's never going to be finished, but it's a shame to pull it out. So what do you do with such a project? Well, there's a few balls of wool with this item. I've not got a picture this week, but I will be getting one for you. Though there might be a picture of the before, so if there is, I'll put that on. Right, where was I? Oh, well, I can tell you about my tea. It's out of my magic box of tea. That's what it says on it. It says it's a magic box. There it is. It is I am tea, je suis tea, and it is sage, ginger and elderflower, and it's really quite tasty, especially accompanied by a malted milk biscuit with a picture of 2 cows on it. Don't know if they get them all over. Oh, it's about the same size as that bit, which was the first bit. So that's quite good, because we've got some thinner bits and some thicker bits. Because it is kind of scrappy, and that is kind of like the backside. So that's it. That's how that's going. I just wanted to show you what I'm wearing. It's not necessarily flattering from the side, but it's very comfortable, and it's made from, I think it's a weaver's sample, like a tailor's sample. so the weave is the same and the colours change, so that the gentleman could go in the shop and decide which colourway he would like. But I've got them all, so it's just, I made this section which is lined, and so is the back, and then stitched a side section in each side, gathered up the full width, the most of the width that I could get, and then I experimented with different fluffy pockets. So I put one on one side and pinned the other one on the other side, and decided that I liked these the best. So it's just a pocket with a lining and a turnover, just an overlock and a turnover, and a couple of pleats sewn together with some tape. The idea of these was that they tied together and drew it in a bit, but everything was everything was too long because I'm too short. Well, I'm short. I'm not too short. I'm just the way I am. So it all got moved up, which keeps my chest warm. But these would ideally have been a bit lower down, which probably something I could look at doing. But at the moment, I just wear it like this. And with it being wool, we went out this morning with the dogs on the beach in a howling wind, which you might be able to hear in the background, and rain. And underneath I was very dry because it's wool. It's got, you can just tell that nothing's going to go through it. It's quite a tight weave. There you go. That's my pinafore. I am wearing, which has been folded up in my cupboard, Eventide, which was in a pom-pom magazine by Inyoung Kim. It was quite fun to make. I do remember making it. The wool is the Grey Sheep Company, Stein Fine yarn, wool, which is 4-ply, and it was 2 skeins, so that's not a lot, is it? And the pattern goes around the back as well. So it's a modular knit, and you knit one of the shapes, and then you have to knit another one at least. You can knit the whole row of shapes, but I just made it up as I went. So if you've got 2, then this one's added on, so you pick the stitches up along those 2 sides and then finish your shape. So then I'd have to do another one to do that one, and then I could only do that one, so then you'd start coming up in rows. I would. It was a lot of fun to make. I did enjoy making it. And I think I just went with, you know, not so much the size chart as many.
If you get attention square, or you haven't, and your size is a little bit in between the sizes on the pattern, it was just, you always get a few bubbles, don't you? It was just
okay to make a band that was the right size and then pick up along. I mean, it's a while since I made it, so I can't remember exactly the construction. So I think that's about it for this week. There may be some other bits and bobs. Every week on YouTube, there seems to be a theme of the videos that I like to watch. Some are current affairs, some are true crime, some are sort of camping van conversions and things like that, or people escaping to the middle of nowhere and making a home in a shack, or people investigating derelict properties. Who knew there were that many derelict properties? But this week I've mostly been watching a couple of women who are called Camping Vibe and they did a fan conversion, and now I've found them. There'll be probably quite a lot of videos to go through and watch. Their whole thing's really good. The way they present, and the music and the editing, and the places they go. They tell you interesting little bits and bobs. And they've got a cat and a dog that travel in the van with them. And you know, we've just got this 18-year-old cat, and we do go away in a van, and I had thought it already, but my husband said, do you think she'll come away with us in the van? Because she's really quite chilled out, and she doesn't go outside anymore. So maybe if we get her a harness, she can come with us. She does like company. She's the kind of cat that would be a bit put out if she was left for too long on her own. So I think we might just try that, and then if I film it, I can show you. And I'm going to have a look at harnesses so I can find one that's comfortable, that suits her. Anyhow, that's me waffling. I shall waffle no more. Hopefully I will have a few more colours in my shawl to show you soon. For now, more news maybe next week.